Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Delicious in Dungeon. Last time around we had Harpy and Chimera, where basically we had a chat with Shuro about everything that had gone on, told him about the fact that we may or may not have used black magic to revive Fallon. He was kind of pissed. A lot of people were pissed about that, actually. Then a bunch of Harpies showed up. They started to deal with that, and then Fallon showed up as a Chimera of herself, the Red Dragon, and what appeared to be a chicken. And so they fought her for a little bit until she flew away very injured. Basically they kind of went their separate ways, not exactly happy, but understanding everything that had gone down. So Shuro and Kabru's teams returned to the surface while Laios' team is moving on through the dungeon. So yeah, that's pretty much where we left off. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Delicious in Dungeon. Here we go. Okay. Oh boy. Well, you always gotta have an episode. It's a classic trope of television. The trying to tell the real from the fake episode. Which is weird that that's such a big trope. Like, you wouldn't think it would appear in too many shows, you know? But here we are. Here we are. I do like that all of their perceptions of Laios are so poor that it's just like, it's so easy to spot them, you know? As for the others, yeah, Chilchuck B was now he's not friggin' sour enough. Senshi B, he was a little too much. He was a little too anime-esque. Like, he belonged in a different anime. He wasn't as dopey. And then Marcel B. That's the thing, you know, when it's just like, I've eaten so many of these monster foods already. There's no sense in complaining about it now. It's like, no. Even if Marcel believed that, she would still complain, you know? She is our complaining queen, you know? Marcel will always complain, no matter what it is, you know? But that's why we love her, you know? She's our complaining queen. And so that was at least a clever idea of, making them cook and stuff. And I love, too, that, the differences was really just monster awareness, you know? Chilchuck wouldn't just sit on any old box, you know? Senshi wouldn't disturb a natural habitat. And Marcel, unfortunately, would, pour boiling water and not think of an Undine, you know? So that actually was a problem. I like that it is her lack of monster awareness that makes her real, you know? Whereas Senshi and Chilchuck would both be more cautious about everything, you know? Which is funny. That's really funny. But yeah, it was a big old Ninetales. I think, like, they didn't talk about it very specifically, but I feel like that has to be more specific, more specific folklore, you know? Okay, well, if you put 9 space tails, it gets you to Kurama, which is a Naruto character, apparently. So, the 9-tailed fox. Although I didn't think that was really a fox. It did kind of look more like a wolf, but I guess it kind of did. So, yeah. In Chinese folklores, foxes are depicted as spirits possessed of magic powers. These foxes are often depicted as mischievous, usually tricking other people with the ability to disguise themselves as a beautiful man or woman. And then, in popular culture, you can... In popular culture... Really? They don't have it? Okay, well, someone needs to go update the Wikipedia page, assuming we can all still access it without putting in our ID. Yeah, someone needs to go put in this episode because it's not a part of the it's not a part of this, which is weird. But yeah, obviously the classic examples: Ninetales in Pokemon, Ninetales, a boss in the Okami video game. That's a great game. There's a Kurama in Yu Yu Hakusho and a Kurama in Naruto as well, which is pretty interesting. So, yeah, but they don't have that. They don't have Delicious in Dungeon. Huh. Well, that's weird. Well, someone, not me. I don't know. I don't know how to fucking update Wikipedia, but someone should go put this episode in then, because that's very clear. I mean, they didn't say it verbatim, but that's what that was. It was a nine-tailed fox. So yeah, that was interesting. And I like Laios in a way only Laios can, just imitating a dog and barking at this thing, shattering the illusion and forcing it out into the light. And I like just this huge dramatic moment. I mean, the animation is just going crazy of having him leap up and about to face this Ninetales in mouth combat. And just cutting to Marcel just with this blank look on her face. She just blows it up. Just there. Do that. It's like, oh, why didn't you draw your sword? It's like, I got sucked into the character in the moment. Ugh, good grief. They should have a dog. Or a wolf. I feel like every medieval fantasy party should have a dog. Or even just an animal, you know? Like, they should definitely... Like, every party should have that, you know? This team should have that. Free Rent should have that. Everybody needs an animal companion, you know? But yeah. We did also talk about the Mad Mage. He's looking for King Dengle. So... Which is interesting. So that is the prince who became king that Laios saw. Where Laios was there accidentally. And he was there at the death of the former king, which the Mad Mage has been trying to prevent on King Dengle. So that's interesting. That's interesting. So, you know, what is it that... essentially, the Mad Mage is, like, now altering the ecosystem, altering how the dungeon operates, you know, just to find the king, you know? Forcing the red dragon to a floor where it shouldn't have been, you know? I don't know, man. Gotta defeat the Mad Mage. That'll be difficult, but... oh boy. You know, the only thing is, with this episode, is I do kind of wish we had seen... They had said whose perception caused what, you know? Because, like, you know, the other three Laioses were obvious, you know, they said they were made from how he is perceived by the others, you know? But I wish it was very specific. Like, there's the one with, you know, the splayed eyes. I'm assuming that one's Chilchuck. And then the big one might be Senshi, maybe? I don't know. I guess that would leave the last one to be Marcel, but I don't know. It's like, I wish they kind of specified that more. Like, and I want to know, like, almost edgy, depressed Marcel that was left there is like, oh, you know, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to complain at this point. I have to do what I have to do in order to save Fallon. She's just fucking cutting shit with a knife, and it's just like, I'll do whatever it takes to save Fallon. It's like, which of them thought of that, you know? Which of them is the reason for that? Also, the freaking girl is the fucking meme, you know? Whereas the fucking face, you look like Joey from Yu-Gi-Oh! Just, you know? She's like, which one of them caused that? Maybe Senshi? I don't know. Ugh, good grief. I don't know. That's like the one thing where it's just like, and I don't know if they ever say that. Maybe it's in the manga or something, and you guys can tell me. But that is kind of the one thing that's unfortunate is we don't know from which person did these perceptions come from. You know, so, good grief. But yeah, but they did it. They defeated the Nine Tails. Now they have to deal with poor Ninja Girl. Ninja Girl who was left in the dungeon. So we'll have to figure out something for that. But yeah, that is pretty much it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my delicious and dungeon reactions, as well as another video to go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.